Hello there and welcome. You know, we talk about the terror barrier in our programs, and I have people ask me every now and then, what is the terror barrier? Well, the terror barrier is that invisible line that separates you from things you know and are familiar with to things you don't know and are not familiar with. Let me give you an example. In fact, let's back away from the terror barrier for a moment. And let's think of the things you do every day and it causes no fear. You feel very comfortable. You may like or dislike it, but you do it every day. You drive your car, you get dressed, and you go and do what you do. Like what I'm doing right now is broadcasting or filming. I do this all the time, so I'm very comfortable doing this. I have no trouble sitting down in front of a camera and, freely expressing what's going on inside. No fear, very comfortable. It's what I do on a regular basis. Now within this studio, there's things going on that I know nothing about, literally. Scott Edwards is our studio director. He is able, we can come into this studio from anywhere in the world and film me. He can edit films. Scott's actually from Manchester in England. He can operate this studio off his laptop from Manchester, England. I know nothing about how to do that. Nothing. So I'm going to give you a visual now here. I want you to look at this for a moment. Let's suppose this line here represents, this is what I know. And I'll say, and I'm familiar with. All this area here is what I know and what I'm familiar with. This area here, I'm not familiar with. I don't know. Now, I can come right up to that line and wander away, cause no fear. On the other side of the line is stuff that Scott Edwards knows how to do, I know nothing about. And you see, I'm not going to go there. I know I'm not going to go there. I stay over here. I stay in the area that I'm familiar with. So there's no fear involved. Now I want you to think of this. Let's suppose I want to go over there. Then what we look at here would be called a terror barrier. And I got to go through that. I've got to go into an area that I don't know. And I'm not familiar with. Let's say public speaking is something I'm very familiar with. I can operate that here, no problem at all. If you were doing that, they say that public speaking is one of the greatest fears we have. So the average person to go over and do that, they're going into what they don't know, they would hit that and bounce right off that terror barrier. It causes all kinds of problems. Now, the terror barrier is that invisible screen that stands between what we know and are comfortable doing and what we don't know and would cause great discomfort if we started to do it. Now, if this is something over here you want to do, let's suppose you want to be a public speaker, then you want to learn how to go through that line. You have to learn how to face the thing you fear and deal with it, and that is another subject. And we'll talk about that a little later. But this is what you call the terror barrier. It's what separates you from what you know and are comfortable with and what you don't know and causes a great deal of discomfort. And when you're going to go over here into an area you're not familiar with, you have to go through the terror barrier. Now, we teach people how to do that in our programs. And it's something you can do. This line here is referred to as fear. I'm going to tell you something. You don't want to ever let fear stop you from doing the thing you really want to do. So if this is something you really want to do and you've got to go through the terror barrier, make certain you study this. Because you do not want to let fear control you. You control the fear. Thank you.